Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star 2 episode number 39 based on novel. So let's start. Huyang City, Menghua Tower. Luo Feng brought two servants, Mo Luosa and Mo Yuqingyan, here. Lord Luoha is here. It's Lord Luoha. The whole Menghua Tower was in an uproar. Whether it was the other guests of Menghua Tower or the members of Menghua Tower, their attention was on Lord Luoha. After all, in the previous battle, Lord Luoha killed Lord Shuiyin and Yu Qianhu by himself. Yu Qianhu's life proved his terrifying strength, an invincible strength below the Chaos Realm. Menghua greets the god. The owner of Menghua Tower came to greet him with the little musician Alioya. The owner of Menghua Tower smiled brightly and asked, "Is the god still in the same place?" "The old place," Luo Feng said with a smile. "Please." Menghua Tower master led the way, and soon they arrived at the Lanqing Palace. Today, the Lanqing Palace is only used by Lord Luoha, and any other distinguished guests can only go to other palaces. Ever since the Black Butcher led his disciples to follow Princess Shui Qianyu to the capital, Luo Feng usually came to Menghualu to enjoy delicious food, and rarely went anywhere else. "Please come in, Lord God." The owner of Kong Menghua Tower personally helped pour the wine and accompanied him. "Owner, do you have any new songs recently?" Luo Feng asked with a smile. "I know that the God King likes to listen to music. I have recently composed more than 10 new songs," said the owner of Menghua Tower. "Then you must listen carefully later." Luo Feng was also very polite to the owner of Menghua Tower. "On the one hand, I have to take care of my good friends Yan Qianyang and Menghua. On the other hand, I have to take care of the relationship between the host and me. On the other hand, as his spiritual will broke through to the God King level, even if he used the 7 emotions mind refining method in Huyang City, only the music of the owner of Menghua Tower could immerse himself. Arroyo is playing." The owner of Menghua Tower looked over. Luo Feng also began to appreciate it. The young musician Luoya was concentrating on playing the music. Her music illusion was much stronger than it was more than 30 centuries ago. However, after Luo Fengqian's will reached the God King level, Luoya's music illusion had little effect on him. He only used it as a simple entertainment while eating and drinking. Arroyo's music magic is getting better and better. Luo Feng praised Arroyo after she finished playing. "Thank you, Lord God." Aluya bowed respectfully, but she felt a little disappointed. Because she could see that Lord Luoha was completely immersed in her music and even moved to tears. "But now just smile and listen. My skills are still too weak and it's hard for the Lord God to like me." Aluya tried very hard, but her illusionist lineage had already reached the pinnacle of the Void God, and she saw no hope at all to become the Eternal God. Arroyo stepped aside. The owner of Menghua Tower sat beside her. Flowers were floating in the air, and snowflakes were condensing naturally. Then, a piece of music naturally started playing, with the heaven and earth sword as the instrument. Musical magic has magical power. The power of the music illusion that reaches the eternal true God realm can be imagined. Luo Feng took the initiative to perform the 7 emotions training method, which made the power of the music illusion many times stronger, so that he could immerse himself in it. As the most important guest of Menghua Tower, the owner of Menghua Tower knows Luo Feng's preferences. The new songs she composed can evoke many emotions in Luo Feng's soul. "It's just a song, but the master likes it so much," Moro muttered to himself as he ate and drank in the river not far away. "Wait until more than 10 songs are finished." Luo Feng's emotions slowly returned to his dream. "Well, these new songs of yours are very good," Luo Feng praised. "Thank you for the compliment from Lord Wen of the Divine Drum." The owner of Menghua Tower was still very frightened after Rong Qianyang and Shuiyin died. Later, she found that Lord Luoha actually began to like her music magic. This excites her. She even suspected that Lord Luoha liked Arroyo's music magic in the past and ignored me for more than 20 centuries. Not long after Yan Qianyang and Shuiyin died, they fell in love with my music illusion. Could it be that he was just a disguise like Yan Qianyang and Shuayan? The disguise of Yan Qianyang and Shuayan made Meng Hualuona completely lose confidence. What strength does Lord Luoha have? An invincible force below the soul chaos realm would really fall for her illusion. She has no confidence. Lord Luoha values friendship and loyalty. Maybe he often comes to Menghua Tower because of his brotherly love with Entian after his death. The owner of Menghua Tower has his own ideas. No matter what, as long as the outside world thinks, Lord Luoha likes my music and illusion, that's enough. The owner of Menghua Tower was also very grateful to Lord Luoha. She tried her best to compose new songs for Luoha God. Comprehending the 3000 void tribulation beast diagrams would make the mind and will very tired. I want to listen to the music illusion with the 7 emotions refining heart method to completely relax me. It is also a spiritual cleansing that can wash away all the fatigue. Luo Feng still values the owner of Menghua Tower very much. After practicing for a long time, you will feel tired and numb. The 7 emotions can help you find your inner touch. I have already thoroughly comprehended the complete diagram of the Beast of Destruction. Luo Feng said secretly, it's just that every time I comprehend it again, I gain something new. These 5 epochs were a time of rapid progress for Luo Feng. Often facing the origin of life, Morosa, who had long entered the chaos realm, often displayed the origin of destruction. Luo Feng's long-term comprehension of the depth of the snail is naturally not comparable to that of the 5 epochs ago. He had already comprehended the diagram of the calamity beast. Now he was repeating the painful understanding over and over again. He would occasionally go to the chaos layer, and he had captured more than 10 creatures like the silver light creatures that contained complete chaos laws. As his strength grew, his movements became easier. If I don't have these opportunities, even if I practice for 500 centuries, it won't be enough to make up for these 5 centuries. Luo Feng thought to himself. The help of several great opportunities has indeed made Luo Feng advance by leaps and bounds. My current realm accumulation is still above the Blood Cloud Sutra, but I still haven't realized the law of chaos. Luo Feng frowned. The law lineage is indeed more difficult than the blood lineage. With the accumulation of blood clouds, the bloodline will transform into the wet chaos realm in the life and death struggle. And it does require a deep accumulation for me to comprehend the law of chaos. During the day, Huyang City is the busiest and most prosperous. Cultivators come in from different gates of Huyang City. A flying boat is flying over the city of Huduyang's Huodi. Inside the flying boat, there were 19 figures standing there, and the one leading them was the three-eyed man. Wearing a grey mixed robe, the three-eyed man looked through the wall of the flying boat towards the vast Huyang City and said with a smile, "This is Huyang City. It is the foundation of my Xinjiang sect for the long years to come. Our Xinjiang sect will finally have a place to build its foundation." The other 8 figures all had mixed feelings. The 8 of them had originally left the Xinjiang sect and settled down in other places, but this time the Xinjiang sect wanted to take down a city as the sect's foundation. Under the call of the Xinjiang sect and with the support of the 2 Chaos Lords in secret, these sect elites came one by one to form the current 18 elders of the Xinjiang sect. The 18 elders are all extremely powerful, and some are even stronger than the sect master. The Xinjiang sect has experienced a period of decline, and the internal divisions have long been afoot. Although the sect elites who rushed back from the origin continent this time made the overall strength stronger, and although there were internal divisions, they were united in fighting for the sect's foundation. Even the 2 Chaos Lords in the dark demanded that they must seize the sect's foundation. When the 2 Chaos Lords have some breakthroughs and are no longer afraid of powerful enemies, they will return to the sect. No one in the entire Zhejiang Handan province can stop us. The three-eyed man said confidently, even if Zhu Jianghu shows up, Liu Yanhu will personally solve the problem. We just need to sweep away all the eternal true gods. Even though my Heart Shadow sect has been weakened until now, it is still easy for the eternal true god to sweep across their entire chaos state, said a figure condensed by a stream of water leisurely. I heard that the most difficult person in Huyang City is Lord Luoha. A blind elder said, I want to try him myself. Lord Luoha is extremely powerful. I'm afraid you are the only one who can fight him. If Elder Wu Xinyan didn't have such a strong will, we would have to rely on formations to deal with Lord Luo," said the other elders. They were all somewhat afraid of this elder with a sharp eye. When the Heart Shadow sect was intact, he was the most powerful being. After the sect declined and split, he left alone and traveled around the origin continent to hone himself. This time, in order to invite him back, Liu Yin who even personally arranged for his avatar to go and pay respect to Fanghua. Everyone. The three-eyed man glanced at the 18 elders and said, "Let this Huyang city be terrified because of my Heart Shadow sect." Good. The 18 elders were all eager to fight, and each led a large number of disciples of the eternal true God and the pious void true God into action. The flying boat suddenly became huge, and huge flying boats appeared around it. In the blink of an eye, thousands of large flying boats appeared at the same time and floated in the sky above Huyang city. The scene attracted the attention of many practitioners in Huyang city, and also attracted the attention of Huyang city officials. Boom, boom. One after another, super-large legion-like secret treasures appeared out of thin air. Ha ha ha, I've waited for so long and finally today. It could be a giant creature, a huge beast, a super-weird lake, a super-large plant, a huge golden eye, or a hunchbacked creature with a sword on its back. 139 super-large Legion secret treasures appeared at the same time. Each of these Legion-type secret treasures of the Heart Shadow sect is controlled by at least 10 eternal true gods and tens of thousands of void true gods. There is no real god. For example, the Hukor has one eternal true god, tens of thousands of void true gods, and tens of millions of true gods to control them, but the Xinjiang sect does not need any true god to control them, but has added multiple eternal true gods, which makes it even more powerful. There are also a large number of disciples in the thousands of humanoid flying boats. After all, not long ago they were a large sect with 3 Chaos Lords. After 5 epochs of gathering disciples from all over the place, they now have the strength of nearly 4 cities. Hoo. The guards who came through the void looked at the 139 large Legion secret treasures in front of them with some fear, and they were also extremely frightened in their hearts. Those huge flying boats, the aura of those flying boats is very terrifying. The Huyang guards were all very nervous and terrified. Although the leader was an eternal true god, he instinctively trembled with fear when he saw 139 super-large Legion secret treasures. He was afraid too. What is our purpose in coming to Huyang city? Ha ha ha. Among the many super-large Legion secret treasures, one of the super-large plants laughed, and the terrifying sound waves generated by the rolling laughter swept over the Huyang guards. The Huyang guards were all thrown far away, and the leading commander was thrown away as well, not caring about his face at all. Something big has happened this time. Those who come here have bad intentions. While the commander was thrown into the air, he also understood the danger that Huyang city was facing. Relying solely on the Huyang Legion, it is simply vulnerable in front of 139 super-large Legion secret treasures. Such a powerful force is coming to kill us and is not afraid of the threat from Zhejiang. I'm afraid they were sent by the food country. Anyone with a little knowledge can guess it. If a powerful force invades a chaotic state without permission, the gods of Yu will be furious. If they actively invade a country's territory, they will be reduced to dust within a day. This is also the reason why the Xinjiang sect could not find a base in the entire origin continent before. The territory of the entire origin continent has long been divided up by various divine kingdoms and major forces. Only when the Xinjiang sect, representing the Food Kingdom, invades Zhejiang Chaos State, can it represent a dispute between the two countries. The City Lord's mansion was in a state of panic. Oh no! It was the Heart Shadow sect. The person who came here has bad intentions. I am afraid he wants to attack the City Lord's mansion. The incarnations of divine power of the leaders of the 5 major families gathered here, looking at the scene in front of them and monitoring the entire city. They also saw the might of the entire army of Xinjiang sect. The Xinjiang sect had offended the great St. Zhu, and the great St. Zhu personally came to the Xinjiang sect. The 3 chaos realm of the Xinjiang sect used the formation to resist the great St. Zhu. In that battle, one of the three Chaos Realm of the Xinjiang sect was killed, and the other two escaped. Even now, they can only hide in the dark and dare not show up in the open. Mo Lixiao frowned and said that since then, the Xinjiang sect has completely declined and even split. The Lord of Huyang City nodded and said, after the decline of the Xinjiang sect, it was recruited by Liu Yinhu and has been protected until now. They came here to kill us today, and it must be Liu Yinhu who is behind it. Liu Yinhu is one of the strongest Chaos Realm warriors in the entire Food Kingdom. His growth path is a path of blood and fire, and also a path of darkness and disaster. He is never afraid of strong enemies. Zhu Yuan Great Sage did not care about protecting the weakened Xinjiang sect. The Great Sage Zhu Yuan is a good-tempered person. If you don't make him angry, he will not start a life-and-death battle. I have reported the news to the Marquis. The white-haired old man said, the Marquis asked us to defend the City Lord's mansion first. Hold on to the City Lord's mansion, only by relying on the City Lord's mansion can they hold on for a while. One day all felt bitter. The entire Huyang city is like a super-large mechanical secret treasure, and the core of it is the City Lord's mansion. Even Xu Ruiyun, Yu Qianhu and others at the time never thought of breaking into the City Lord's mansion. With the special features of the City Lord's mansion, they were able to hold out for a while. Outside the City Lord's mansion, they simply had no confidence to resist the Heart Shadow sect. Let the core members of the 5 major families retreat to the City Lord's mansion first. The Xinjiang sect is likely to start a war directly. The 5 major families are very panicked. Even with the help of the City Lord's mansion, they could only say, hold on, because the strength gap between the two sides was too great. Thousands of large flying boats were terrifying, and there were 139 super-large mechanical treasures flying in the air. The power was so great that the Huyang guards dared not approach, and none of the 10 Huyang legions dared to intercept them. Suddenly, 2 incarnations of divine power descended. They were none other than the City Lord Huyang and Mo Lixiao. At this moment, many super-large mechanical treasures were all paying attention to the two of them. Many eternal true gods and massive void true gods in thousands of large flying boats were all looking over here. This invisible pressure frightened the City Lord Huyang and Mo Lixiao. As expected of a sect founded by the God King, even though it has declined till now, there are still thousands of eternal true gods. The Lord of Huyang City was secretly shocked. He was not surprised at all. When the Heart Shadow sect was intact, there were 3 Chaos Realm guarding it, and there were more than 10,000 eternal true gods. The sect's foundation was 3 Chaos states, and it was deeply rooted with the treasures left by the God King. It was only later that it angered the 9-source Great Sage, and then it split and declined. Even so, all parties still dare not underestimate the Xinjiang sect. Because the 2 Chaos Realm Masters who are on the run may have a breakthrough in strength one day and no longer be afraid of the 9-source Great Sage. At that time, the Heart Shadow sect will rise again. Everyone from the Xinjiang sect. Lord Huyang spoke. The 3-eyed man flew out a flying boat, took the initiative to show up, and said with a smile, Xinjiang Menfeng Yuqi greets Huyang City Lord, Commander Mo Lixiao. It turned out to be the leader of Xinjiang sect. The Lord of Huyang City said, Xinjiang sect came to Huyang City with such a big momentum, what are they planning to do? The 3-eyed man sighed softly, our Xinjiang sect has declined to this point. We have searched the world, but it is difficult to find the root of the sect. We came to Huyang City just to find a temporary place to stay. At this moment, 139 super-large mechanical secret treasures were overlooking the Lord of Huyang City and Commander Mo Lixiao. No matter how pitiful the 3-eyed man sounded, Huyang City Lord and Mo Lixiao did not dare to believe it. We are just looking for a place to stay, why make such a big noise? Please ask the Xinjiang sect master to restrain the disciples and not to affect Huyang City. The Lord of Huyang City said. I will do my best to discipline my disciples. The 3-eyed man smiled and said, I will not accompany you too, I still need to settle my disciples. After all, I have too many disciples in Xinjiang sect, and it is troublesome to settle them. Having said that, he went straight back to the large flying boat nearby. The Lord of Huyang City and Commander Mo Lixiao looked at each other and could only temporarily disperse this incarnation of divine power. Inside the flying boat, the three-eyed man had a cold expression on his face and gave the order through voice transmission: everything should be done according to the plan. Thousands of large flying boats and numerous super-large mechanical treasures moved at the same time, with terrifying power. Sect Master, I thought at the beginning that we should directly conquer the City Lord's mansion with the force of thunder. An elder sent a message, and at this moment, all the 18 elders have already controlled the super-large Legion mechanical secret treasure. A large city is built over countless years, and the core is the City Lord's mansion. It's not that easy to conquer. The three-eyed man said, even if we conquer it, I'm afraid our Shinying sect will suffer some casualties. Our opponent in this battle is not the more than 100 eternal true gods of the 5 major families in the City Lord's mansion, but the army under the command of Zhou. What the sect leader said made sense. An elder agreed, we must maintain sufficient strength. The stronger we are, the more Liu Yin Marquis will rely on us. And if we lose a lot of strength in the battle with Zhou Marquis' army, our status under Liu Yin Marquis will also be reduced. The three-eyed man said that the most powerful army in Zhejiang Chaos State was not in Huyang City, but in Zhejiang City. And Zhejiang might also invite some powerful eternal true gods from other places in Yu State. So we must act with caution. Sect Master. A cold voice came, war, sometimes you have to strike with thunder, to kill them in fear. Only with enough killing and deterrent can the army under the command of Lord Zhejiang be truly afraid. You don't want too many disciples of the sect to be killed or injured, but you can't be soft-hearted in the fight for the foundation of the sect. Our Shinying sect has reached its current situation. We must be cautious at every step and must unite even more. The three-eyed man was troubled because the sect's most powerful elder, Xinyan, had different ideas from him. I just talked to the sect master privately. Elder Xinyan said that he did not agree with the sect master. According to his temper, they had destroyed the City Lord's mansion as soon as possible and would rather pay some casualties to completely occupy Huyang City first. If Lord Zhejiang dares to send a large army, then kill him. Kill him until Lord Zhejiang hesitates, kill him until he feels distressed. As for the death and injury of the sect's disciples, it was all worth it for the future of the sect. The two ancestors stood on the side of the sect master. Even so, although Feng Yuqi was a little soft-hearted, he was also devoted to the sect. Elder Xinyan had to endure it because of the instructions of the 2 Chaos Realm Masters. Luo Feng, who was in Menghua Tower, also received news one after another. At this moment, all forces in Huyang City were a little panicked, feeling that the entire city might undergo a major change. The Xinjiang Men army has arrived at Huyang City. There are 139 super-large Legion secret treasures and thousands of eternal true gods. Luo Feng was stunned when he heard it and immediately called to the servant beside him, Luo-sa, let's go out and take a look. What happened? Morosa was still eating meat, so he had to stop reluctantly and follow his master to fly out. Mo Yu Qingyang and the owner of Menghua Tower also followed him out. Flying high in the sky, Luo Feng looked into the distance. Even though the entire Huyang City's formation was affected, he could still break through the air and spy from afar. He could see the Shinying sect's thousands of flying boats and many super-large Legion secret treasures. What a great momentum! Luo Feng exclaimed, it is worthy of being a sect founded by the God King. It has been declining till now, but it is still so powerful. The Shinying sect is a normal divine king sect. At its peak, it was a powerful force with countless disciples. The Duan Donghe lineage, perhaps the ancestors thought it was too troublesome to train disciples, so it was passed down from generation to a single person. The previous Duan Donghe even died in the Universe Sea. Fortunately, Luo Feng inherited and continued the legacy, becoming the 193rd Duan Donghe. The Shinying sect has arrived. I'm afraid the situation in Huyang City will change drastically. The owner of Menghua Tower was a little panicked. If they want to deal with it, they should deal with the City Lord's mansion first. Luo Feng Yao watched, and suddenly his face changed. Not good. Master, what's wrong? Morosa asked. Mo Yu Qingyang and Menghua Tower Master were also confused. The Shinying sect's army headed straight for the center of Huyang City. They were now occupying the caves in the chaos zone. Luo Feng said, "Go, go, go, go back quickly, don't occupy my cave." Morosa, who had occupied the cave, was shocked. Luo Feng immediately took Morosa, Mo Yukinian, and boarded a flying boat, and traveled directly through the void towards their own cave residence. Within the scope of Huyang City, it is not difficult for Luo Feng to travel through the void over short distances. At this moment, the entire city lord's mansion in the center of Huyang City was in chaos. The elites of the 5 major families had already retreated to the city lord's mansion. The Xinjiang sect attacked. Mo Li Feiyun and Jiao Rongqi were also in the bustling core group of the 5 major families. The 2 sisters also looked outside from afar, and they only knew that the current situation was bad. Father, senior brother Gao Wu, and the others are all ready to fight. Mo Li Feiyun is worried. "Don't worry, the city lord's mansion is not that easy to conquer," Jiao Rongqi comforted. At this moment, most of the elites of the 5 major families, including the Huyang Legion and the Huyang Guard, retreated to the city lord's mansion, and only a few were still guarding the 3 forbidden areas. The Xinjiang sect said they wanted to find a place to stay, but now they are heading straight to the city lord's mansion. The white-haired old man watched from afar. "The war is about to start," the leader of the Meiwu clan said worriedly. "We can only face it now," the lord of Huyang City said. As a branch of a large family, they came to Huyang City to enjoy themselves. They were not willing to fight to the death, but they did not dare to surrender when it involved a dispute between 2 countries. On the side of the city lord's mansion, no matter whether it is the eternal true gods of the 5 major families or the many eternal true gods of their vassals, there are only 100 or so eternal true gods in total. Even with the help of the city lord's mansion's special features, there is no complete confidence that they can be defended. City Lord Huyang, Mo Lixiao, and others looked from afar, and saw that the Xinjiang sect's army was marching towards the caves in the chaos zone next to the city lord's mansion. "This cave of yours now belongs to our Xinjiang sect. Move out immediately. This cave is ours to take." All the caves were directly occupied. Among them, the cave dwelling of the Shu clan occupies a very large area and is one of the largest cave dwellings in Chaos Area A. It is much larger than Luo Feng's small cave dwelling. It was originally purchased by combining multiple cave dwellings together. "Everyone from the Heart Shadow sect, this is the ancestral land of our Shu clan." The patriarch of the Shu clan, Zhu Hu, came in person, followed by 5 eternal true gods, all of whom were quite flattering and respectful. "Our Shu clan is willing to offer treasures in order to keep our ancestral land." "So what about the ancestral land?" Suddenly a huge golden eye descended with a rumbling sound. The huge golden eye stared at Zhu Hu, making Zhu Hu tremble with fear. He felt the threat of death. "Move away immediately, or none of the Shu family will be left alive." The huge golden eye made a sound, "And let me see the treasure you so-called offer. If the treasure is not precious enough, you don't have to move away, and you can all die here." The green secret patterns on the face of the skinny old man Zhu Hu were a little distorted, and the 5 eternal true gods of the family behind him were a little sad and angry. "Okay, let's move now." Zhu Hu could only endure it, not daring to disobey, and at the same time had to obediently offer the treasure. "Whose cave is that?" "There is a super-large Legion mechanical secret treasure looking at Luo Feng's small cave." This video will end here.